Jack and Jill here.
Good day.
Welcome to the Jack Jill Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about work ethic disappointment.
It's funny when you say the word disappointment.
I feel compelled to quote my partner, Jill, in her immediate question before the show. What the heck could you possibly mean by work ethic disappointment? And here's my answer. All the people in our group who are knocking it out of the park, us included, financially buying and selling houses and land, have this level of work ethic that they bring to the table long before they ever choose to get involved in our group. And it's really, really disappointing when I see people who are incredibly talented and really bright that just don't have that work ethic discipline.
Right.
And I'm going to plug my my heritage a little bit here. A lot of people from the Midwest seem to have a work ethic, level of work ethic that I see not as prevalent as people from the core East Coast and the West Coast.
Careful.
That's why this show is going to be funny.
Careful.
Because Jill's going to get into it with me. I'm sure of it.
Don't dig a hole.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the JackJill.com online community. It's free.
Okay. This, I recall you showing me because this was awesome. This is not so much a question. This is so much as sharing some valuable knowledge and information to our folks. So we have two members, Daniel and Miriam, who are working together. They're team partners, and they shared this, and so I'm just going to read what they did. It said, after scrubbing a number of lists, we have slowly developed a simple scrubbing checklist. We want to share that with other investors that may just be starting off or those who would like a step-by-step guide to make life easier. Here is a little video introduction about the scrubbing checklist, and then click here and it links to their video. And then here is a link to the Google Docs. Click here. Links to a beautiful step-by-step thing to when scrubbing.
Truly detailed and amazing.
So good. If you have any additional questions or thoughts, feel free to reach out anytime. We'll do our best to help where we can. Cheers.
So what happens is, and thank you so much, fellas, for doing this. What happens is that when you pull up a data source like RealQuest or DataTree or any of the data sets that you use, you start with the universe of properties in any given geographic area. So let's say all the properties in Scottsdale, Arizona, or all the properties in Mojave County, Arizona, or Manhattan, New York, anywhere in the country. And you have to scrub down from there to get to the owners where you think they're going to respond to some letter. And that's what these people have addressed in a truly mechanical and interesting way. Mm-hmm. And we all have a little bit of a different take on it, but if you're brand new, it's going to be daunting. So go to Land Investors and keyword search Miriam, Miriam, and you will eventually find it.
Mm-hmm. Well, this might be in a pro forum, so I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
So let me back up here.
Forget what I said then.
Yeah. So like Jack's saying, these are people in our community who have learned from us and our stuff how we scrub our lists, and they just made another list and kind of put their flair on it. So, and we have a open environment in our online community, and then we have a closed environment in our online community. I'm not 100% sure which one this came from. So I was sharing, if you go look for this and you can't find it, that's why.
Blame Jack.
Blame Jack, or become a member. So, I mean, that's, and the point for me here is, A, awesome job. B, thanks for sharing. C, that's why we're here, and our community is doing so well. We have created, by design, a wonderful community where we all work together and help each other. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we all know there's enough property to go around. We got this. And all we're doing is helping each other do bigger and better deals together. I will get off my soapbox now.
Here's some funny stuff that Jill says around the house for no reason. You got this. You got this.
I do. Sorry.
Hold, please.
I do that too.
I'm cooking right now. Hold, please.
I'm cooking right now. I don't say that often.
Here's how I grew. Here's those two phrases could easily be something else, and this is how I grew up.
Oh boy.
Shut the hell up and sit down. I'm cooking. Jill says, hold, please.
Wait, here's
another
I want
one.
a Jack one. I want a Jack one.
Hold on. This is a compliment for you.
Okay.
You got this. Meaning, whatever I'm trying at, I'm dismally failing at. So
Right.
in my childhood, it would have been, you're good for nothing.
Oh.
Jill says, please. You got this.
Can I share with some
Sure.
things that you say around the office and the home? Which is, number one, of course, we all know word calories. And number two is get to know your equipment. And usually when he says it doesn't come out at all like that. It's pretty mad.
My mouse isn't working. Really? Get to know your equipment.
Or get the hell out of here. That's really what it's like. Oh, wait. Another one of my favorites is, this is sounding like a diaper change.
Yep. Here's another one that I love. Everyone's so sick of hearing.
Oh, yes.
Next topic.
Yes. Oh, yes.
A question quickly can become a vent. V-E-N-T, not
I know.
E-V-E-N-T.
Or rant. R-A-N-T. On that note, can we please get to the topic?
How do we twist a compliment, a Jill compliment, into a Jack disaster?
What? Was that a compliment? My stuff?
Hold please is a beautiful, wonderful thing.
I
that
thought
you
you were
say.
making
I love it.
fun of
no.
me.
I love that you have these
Oh.
little snippet things that are just, the kids love it too.
I
Hold please.
thought you were making fun of me.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. I take that back.
You got this. That's a good thing, Jill.
Oh,
They're
I
good
thought you were
things.
making fun of me there too.
Uh-uh.
All right. There's me. Can you be more vague?
A little bit, like it's a cute little sentence of encouragement. Like Mary Poppins would say it.
I know. That's why I thought you were poking at me.
Poking on it. Jill, I'm serious.
Oh.
Those are good things. That's what makes you very unique. Most people are really angry.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate
Today's
that.
topic, speaking of anger,
And taking things wrong out of context.
work ethic disappointment. This is the meat of the show. In the line of business that we're in, we get to meet a lot of people and work with a lot of people who bring a lot of different stuff to the table. And one of the things that we can't teach, and a lot of people fail because of it, is work ethic. Regardless, what is so funny?
I'm sorry. You're just
You can
making,
laugh out loud. It's a
you're
radio
just making
show.
me giggle. Oh God! If we could teach this, we would be trillionaires. I don't know what.
Work ethic
Yes,
is very tough.
man.
Work ethic I define as you just won't quit.
You can't teach it.
You don't know when you've been beat, or you just get up and keep moving forward
You're
no matter
right.
what. So I've seen more people recently that are so incredibly intelligent. They just for whatever reason, they just don't have the work ethic or the stick to it. There's a million words for it to get through actually completing their first mailer. Because once you complete your first mailer, in my opinion, and you get a bunch of people calling you back, telling you that you're some version of the devil, and then you get a couple of people calling you back saying, man, your timing is perfect. I would love to sell you this property for this price. This price is perfect. Tell me what to do next. And then you actually own a piece of property for the first time. It's truly an amazing, you're either addicted or you hate the
Yeah.
process, one of the two. Vast majority of the people are get addicted like me. So, but you'll never get to that point unless you just overcome all the little things that happen along the way. And this is not Mailer or Land Academy or real estate specific. It's everything. It's just the way life is.
Do you think it's nature or nurture?
I think it's absolutely nurture.
What?
And I think most things are nature.
I think it's nature. Well, that's funny.
I think it's absolutely the vast majority of it is how you are raised.
Seriously?
And how you saw your parents, what your parents' work ethic is. Absolutely.
All right, that's where you
At a
kind of
very,
go
very young
East
age.
Coast, West Coast, and then the Midwest, and that's because you think it's nurture.
I'll give you an example.
All right.
A geography-based example. And it's not necessarily work ethic, but it shows a difference. I went through my sister still lives in Michigan. And I went to visit her, and we went to a AAA baseball game. And we sat in the outfield because that's where the cheap seats are, which was grass. And we all sat there, and the game ended. And everyone left, and there was not one speck of trash left anywhere in that whole grass. Yeah. You and I know, we go to a million baseball games in Arizona during spring training, and there's nothing but trash everywhere.
Right.
So there's some huge core value differences and work ethic type differences based on geography.
Huh.
And no one here can tell me that the East Coast is clean, because it's a disaster. A disastrous mess.
I was wondering. I don't know what the beaches are like there. Our beaches are pretty clean here. We have a pretty good pride of community, I guess, and our environment here where we live. I'm trying to think if we're. I know it wasn't always like that. It's
people
changed.
on the West Coast, I've noticed, and this is not a judgment, it's just an observation, tend to live in front of each other. And people in the Midwest tend to like go back into their cave at least a certain portion of the day and do stuff like. But everyone out west, I don't know if it's Hollywood or what, seems to just like they want to put on a show in front of the next person.
Very interesting. Like open up the windows, open up the doors. For me, I see it as inviting. I just want to hang out with everybody. I'm a people person. I don't see. I
think a lot of work gets done, regardless of what you're working on, when you just close the curtains and sit down in front of the computer or whatever you're working on by yourself quietly and get a bunch of stuff done, and regardless of how it looks, regardless of the quality of the office space, regardless of the quality of the people who are working for you or not working for you, you just actually sit there until you get it done to your satisfaction. And that's what I think work ethic really is. Like, yep, it's done and I love it.
That's interesting.
I can tell you've actually never thought about this before, which is kind of making my point.
What? Jack! Oh, I can't believe you said that.
You got this, Jill.
Oh my goodness. What the heck? I can't believe you just said that. That is so not true. I first would like to add.
No, I have nothing but liquid respect for you.
I do.
You know that.
Well, you know what's funny about this? I really was sitting here going into the show thinking it's nature, it's nature, it's nature. Get over it. It's just how you are. You're born that way. But now I'm actually changing. You're making me rethink this because you know what? I was raised by two Midwest parents.
I know.
And
although I never met your father, I know, based on the stories, that there was no lack of work ethic there.
None. No, the guy did not know really how to call in sick. There was
Which is why I think you have it.
Yeah.
Because you saw
You
your
just don't
parents do
stop.
that when you're little, you're really, really young.
That's what I was thinking. And they did do a good job of instilling responsibility and chores and things like that. I mean, it's just you don't think about it.
I think it's tragic in the industrial age here. We're coming off of it, I guess, or probably technically out of it, where parents they just get up in the morning and go to work, and the kids just don't have any real example except for what goes on in school to see any type of work ethic.
Oh.
You know, I think
True.
In the agricultural era, the kids worked alongside their parents until they got it done. And I think that sets a good example.
Well, I think one thing, though, that kids do see that makes a difference is if their parents do get up and go to work. Seriously. If they see their parents leaving consistently all the time, Monday through Friday, they're not late, they have their briefcase, they're ready to start their day, I think that's a great foundation. I don't think that that's something to sneeze at.
It's better than doing nothing, but I still think they don't know where the heck they're going and what they do or any of that, especially when they're real little.
The
I think
kids
all
are
the
the
stuff
parents. Well, I'm going in again today. Not sure what I'm going to get done. I don't know what's happening.
All
here.
I know is that I got to get the hell out of here right now.
That's true. That's right. Daddy leaves earlier and earlier to work.
All these things are taught, I believe, who knows, at an extremely young age, before the age of 5.
Yeah. They see it. They get it.
Right.
I know. Well, you know what's funny about this is I've worried about this with our children, especially number 3, because he was the youngest.
Yeah, me too.
During this whole last couple years phase that we've been doing, and I worried that because we always, we do a pretty good job, I think I don't know, we might do a crappy job, but
I'm sure we do.
Oh, I do. I think in my mind it's good. Of having fun with the kids, like we aren't constantly working. If anything, I don't want the kids to know if it's hard or any problems, that I want the kids to see us when we're home having a good time with them, right? So, and we're home a lot. And so, and they can I I very rarely have a child walk in my office at home and I say, or there's never a sign. I certainly don't have a sign on the door. Their door's not closed. They can pretty much come in and ask me anything at any time. And I've tried to make sure that, do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I kind of lost it myself. Wait, my point is.
It's easy to send the wrong message with the right intention.
Right.
That's
if you
what I
work
think.
from home and you're available for your kids and they say on a Tuesday because they had a half day, let's go for a bike ride, and you go, sure, I don't want them to send the message that nothing gets done.
Right.
I don't have a good work ethic, that I'm always just able to goof off or want to goof off, which I really do.
Me too.
But my work is more important.
If the kid's getting good grades, number 3 is getting great grades and he's a good kid, I'm not too worried.
Right.
But I completely share, we've never talked about this, completely share your concern.
Mm-hmm.
But the way computers are, specifically the kids, 14 or 15?
14.
With the other 2 kids, they're so much older, computers, the level of freedom that computers afford you now, especially in a work environment, working from home is very realistic. Doing a real estate deal in Maine for us is ridiculously realistic right now. Never having to go there and getting it done in a week and a half.
Right.
So maybe that's the message now. That responsibility requires even more work ethic.
It does.
And focus because of the bike thing you just said.
Yes.
So maybe that's the message that we need to be delivering. And maybe we do. Maybe we don't. I don't know.
Maybe we're trying right here. If anyone is still listening.
I know that I developed this whole podcast so that we actually could avoid real work. I know that.
I do know that. You've done a very good job with it. So that's good. I think we conveyed our message.
You've done it again. Spend another 20 minutes listening to the JackJill Show. Join us tomorrow where we discuss meeting people, employees, and sellers from where they come.
And we answer your question, should you have one, posted on JackJill.com.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Yep, 20 minutes you'll never get back.
I've spent some people I deal with, whether they're employees or not so much employees, but so I see members, the ones that, especially that I have calls with, they're so talented. They just can't, for some reason, sit and look at themselves in the mirror and say, no matter what happens, I'm going to get this first mailer out. And no matter what happens, if that mailer doesn't work the way I wanted it to, I'm going to send another one out, and another one, and another one, until we own a bunch of property and we're reselling it. And the machine, until the pistons actually fire. That first piston needs to fire to get the other ones going.
That's true. Yeah, I was just thinking, we met with one of our members here locally recently, and I think he said he was like, took him a couple mailers to really get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was good
And
that
then
he
the
didn't
third
stop.
one, he's killing it.
Right. Yeah, this one kind of bombed. Would you underprice? And it's a quick thing. What happened? Oh, I overpriced, or I underpriced, whatever it is. You usually know right away. So that's fine. So you don't stop there. You figure out what it is and move on, like you're saying.
Right.
And some of the smartest people sometimes have trouble with that.
Exactly.
I get it. Hey, share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you're listening. And while you're at it, please rate us there.
We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.